Hello, welcome to the next episode of UNE College of Business YouTube series. This episode is brought to you by Supply Chain Center, and my name is Dr. Gulshan Madraki. I'm a professor and the director of Supply Chain Program, and as well as the director of Supply Chain Center. Welcome. Today we are here with three amazing students. Welcome, guys. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Would you like to introduce yourself for our audience?
Sure, we'll just go down the road. My name is Christian Rasmussen. I am a marketing major here at UNE. I'm a junior from upstate New York and graduate spring 2027.
Hey, my name is Isaac Jordan. I'm in business administration. I'm a standing junior, and today I am not your host.
Hi, I'm Dalton Donovan. I'm a junior, class of 2027. I'm a double major in sport management and data science, and I'm from Plymouth, New Hampshire.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. That's our pleasure to have you here. And again, guys, I'm sorry. I know you guys expect to see students, but this episode is a little bit of faculty and students because we have three amazing students here talking about something great. So, do you want to tell me why we want to have this conversation here today?
Yes, I would love to let you know. So, it started when the director of the ISIC reached out to our Global Supply Chain Center. I forgot to mention you guys in my introduction. I'm the inaugural fellow of the Global Supply Chain Center. So I found out that the director of the ISIC reached out to us, and he said that they were looking for something that they did not have. So there's a lot of equipment that they use down there. They have a lot of medical equipment up in the Portland campus, and they didn't really have any way to keep track of this stuff, which is pretty important, right? They had no way to manage their assets. And so I was like, okay, I'm sure I can do something about this to fix it, right? So I get to searching online, looking for different asset tracking software, inventory management software, or applications. And I was just really not super impressed with what I found because I didn't feel like they fit our use case here. They were maybe too convoluted or bloated, or just really, just not great. You know, there was always something lacking, which is not ideal, of course. So,
is that true that some of them are maybe too complicated for the use that we have in mind, right?
Yes. So a lot of them are closer to the inventory management side, where it's for like a manufacturer or a distributor of products. So has to do with all the price and stuff, which, as you know, in this use, we really aren't concerned about the price. We just really are worried about maybe where it is, who has it, the status of the item. And so these kind of additional things here we really don't need. And that happened to be kind of the case with most of them. There's always something where it's like, wow, like this is kind of bloated. I don't need this. So I thought it'd be a great idea to take it in a different direction. And if all of these aren't so great, well, why don't I just create something of my own? That might be, that's kind of the best path forward. That's the path that we decided to take.
Start. Nice. Why not I build something myself?
Yes.
Okay. And now, so that's a great start of the story. But then what happened?
So, I got to trying to build something. And first I started by using a powerful generative AI tool to assist in kind of building a prototype. Then I realized, well, it goes pretty far beyond that. Like, this is a great starting point, but there's kind of a whole lot more that goes into something like this. So I said, man, I'm going to need some help, right? So we eventually got a couple more students on board. Yeah. So I met Christian, met Dalton, and they seem to know what they're doing in a couple different fields that might be important to us. So we decided to bring them along for the journey.
Chris, Dalton, would you like to say what are your roles, how you're helping with this project?
So I'm going to be mainly focusing on the marketing aspects and conceptualization, mainly just trying to project on what the uses are going to be for this program and who it can affect. I know like our communications office uses assets. I know that a bunch of other offices, even at this school and beyond, they use assets that need to be tracked and properly managed. And having a user-friendly interface to manage that would be something that I'm very well interested in helping spearhead.
My focus will be a little different. I'll probably be more focused on the data science, coding, maybe helping building the program that does it or stuff within it. Like, I think important thing for assets is maybe knowing where they are around campus. I think with some of the tools I've learned in my classes, maybe a visualization tool that's interactive where we could see where the asset is around campus or who's using it, and just anything from visualization tools to maybe help building a website or an app. I think that's where my coding expertise will hopefully come into play.
No, thank you so much. Honestly, I think as a proud and honored faculty advisor whose expertise is supply chain, asset management, inventory management, this is like a dream team, and hopefully this is going somewhere. So speaking of this dream team, where are you at the moment? How far you progress? What have you done? What is the next steps?
So right now, all it really is a little bit of a prototype within that AI tool right now. It is interactive, it is functional, but right now it's really a concept. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot that needs to be done. Some of the next steps would be taking it from, well, currently right now, the state that it's in is kind of what you would see in like the admin view. If you're on the administrative side of things, you're able to manage everything. So the next step would be able to have user IDs and differentiation between if you're a user or you're an administrator, because the user view will be much different, where you're able to see where things are, but you're not able to add instances of assets. You're not able to change the location of something yourself. Another big thing is being able to use barcode scanners, scan barcodes, in order to check assets in or out, or change the status thereof. That's one of the big next steps. Then, of course, is kind of bringing it out of the shell of the tool and putting that code into an application so that you can actually use it outside of just my chat conversation with the tool, right? So those are kind of the next big steps that I would say are very important. So we'll probably get chugging along on those more next semester, as you know, finals are pretty crazy right now, but we've still got something to show for our work.
So this Saturday we have the research symposium here at UNE, and we're going to be presenting a poster basically just showing the concept of the asset tracking system that we have undergoing. We're going to get a lot of feedback, some insight on like how to really go forward with it, and the fact that we are so early on in making this software, making this application, gives us the option to kind of receive that feedback and take it as we move forward at a much earlier stage rather than when we already have it developed.
Nice. And as far as I understand, guys, you are very active students. You know, doing like 4 courses per semester. You know, undergrad is like a full-time job. But in addition, you are involved in research, like this project, as well as other stuff. So if you don't mind, I want to talk about all other activities that you are doing at UNE. First thing first, why UNE? Why you are here? Why marketing? Why data analytics? Why business administration? And then I can actually ask, if you don't mind, talk about other stuff that you're doing here. We may start with Chris.
Okay, yeah, so I picked UNE because I've always loved Maine. I used to go on vacations with my family up here every summer, and the stats on UNE are amazing. You see them all around campus. 95% people get a job right after graduation, or they go to grad school, stuff like that. Number one university in Maine to get a job after school. Stats like that are really what drew me in over stuff like URI and UMaine. And that's really why I picked UNE. I picked marketing because I really love digital media, and I also love like the business courses that I took in high school. So in doing so, I kind of combined the aspects of journalism, digital media, all those courses that I really loved in high school. And I came across, I picked marketing as I started out with business administration because I am a transfer student from Hudson Valley Community College in upstate New York. And going from a business administration degree and finishing that out last spring into a marketing program here at UNE is kind of where I found the branch from business to go into marketing.
So I would say to my loyal viewers, you might already know the answer to these questions. I've talked a little bit about these in my other episodes, and if you don't know, then go watch those episodes. I don't know what you're doing. But I'll do a little recap here. First of all, I chose UNE because when I toured, it was beautiful. First, I mean, come on, like, I feel like it's something that I didn't really have anywhere else. Another factor that plays into it was I'm also somewhat of a transfer. I did a lot of community college. I did dual enrollment. My credits transferred in pretty nicely. So I'm like a freshman, but I'm like a standing junior. So I figured that's something that I really couldn't compromise on, and UNE was great at helping me get those transferred in. I noticed that there's just plenty of resources here. Just so many great faculty here, and like the statistics as well. Those are pretty amazing. So as far as the schools I applied to, it's just this school seemed to be the most opportunistic, and I think that's probably one of the most important things when it comes to going to school is being able to find opportunities and seize them. Also kind of plays into the student-faculty ratio, which I love a lot, because I'm not the kind of person who I don't think I would do very well if I'm just going to be drowning in the crowd, sitting in a lecture hall with like 200 people. I don't really appreciate that kind of culture, and I think that the small school is really the best way to go if you're looking to create lasting relationships and connections.
The reason I chose UNE is because it sort of checked all the boxes for me. When I was in high school, I was looking to play college basketball, and I thought UNE would be a place where I was able to do that. And I realized that with my senior year of high school that I wanted to do work in the NBA doing analytics. And for me, that meant trying to get a data science major, which is available at UNE, one of the newer majors, and also trying to join a good sports management program. There's not a lot of sports management programs around that are really good. UNE's great. If you meet some of our professors, they have endless connections. And also, there's not a lot of schools where you can do sport management and data science together. So being able to combine that to sort of make my own, for me, it's like a sports analytics major for me, which is what I want to do. UNE was just simply the perfect fit. And things they said, I mean, I walked on campus. It was beautiful, right near the beach, and sit in areas like this and do schoolwork. There's just a lot to be appreciative for here. So that's why I chose it.
I mean, yeah, the ocean's right in our backyard. It's amazing.
And one other thing, speaking of basketball, do you want to talk about sport, and especially that you are majoring in sport management as well, like a double majoring? That's so interesting.
Basketball here is great. I enjoy it. This is my third year on the team. And I'm also a member of the Student Athletic Academic Committee for our team. And outside of that, also starting this year, I've not only play for our men's team, but I also work for the women's team. Because what I want to do after college, I mentioned it earlier, is work in the NBA. And I want to do something called coaching analytics. So I sort of made my own internship with the women's team. So I have my practices, their practices, and some side quests like this. So it's been a pretty busy semester, but it's been great.
Congratulations! I know it's not hard. It's not easy. It's very hard. Sorry, but congratulations. And one quick thing. So I've heard that you're also doing something very interesting. Do you want to talk about the other job that you're doing on campus?
Yes. Well, not really on campus right now, but last spring I heard through some of my teammates that one of their classes at Underdog Energy, shout out Underdog, great company, great energy drinks, go grab yourself one. They were looking for someone to do sales analytics for them. And at that point, I hadn't had any real experience with my coding work and data visualization work. So it seemed like the perfect opportunity to fulfill my internship credit, get some real world experience for my resume. And it's always cool to have the opportunity, similar to this, to like work with a company that's like from the ground up, like a startup somewhere, like they're really trying to accomplish something. Like there are not a lot of places where you go and work and you genuinely have the opportunity to make serious impact right away. Like with Underdog, I worked for them all summer and handled all their sales data whenever it came in, and I would analyze it, create some graphs, stats that were important, updates on how they're doing. And I had the opportunity to be hands-on and just handle all their data. And how many kids at 20 years old can handle all the data for a company that's doing pretty well. So that was pretty cool. So the opportunity to work hands-on for them, fulfill my internship credit, and get to know two great people in Dylan and Joey, who also went to UNE and started their own company. That's pretty impressive.
It is.
And they're doing pretty well. So it's here. It's in a lot of stores around here. They made it in all the Hannafords, and they're continually expanding.
Wow. Such a success story. And congratulations again to
Thank you.
all of the amazing things that you are doing. And true, it's very valuable to do internship in somewhere that you feel belong. You feel that you can actually apply all those theory that you learn in class, in the data analytics class, in all those visualization class, in on real data sets, which is great. Now, I want to actually ask the same question because I know Chris is also doing a lot on campus and you're involved as a student representative. Do you want to talk about that?
Absolutely. So yeah, I am quite involved on campus with a couple of clubs. Main thing that I'm really working towards is becoming the student president of the National Society of Leadership and Success for the UNE chapter. It's basically an honor society where we'll be able to incorporate a lot of leadership skills on campus and really help people feel prepared when they walk the stage at the end of their academic career. I'm also a representative for the College of Business on the undergraduate student government here at UNE. The main things that we really focus on are like budgeting for like clubs and stuff like that, constitution, with involvement with academic affairs, student affairs, public relations, stuff like that.
Fantastic. Do you mind if you can tell us about your challenging jobs that you've done or anything interested in these positions?
So the main thing that I really focus on in these positions is working closely through Academic Affairs Committee on the undergraduate student government by working with the administrative level of the College of Business to help improve just the academic standing of the College of Business. Considering it is so new, the main thing that we're focusing on is increasing enrollment. So I'm working close with a lot of program directors and the College of Business Dean, Norma Riley. I'm working close with them so we can improve enrollment and overall just make sure that the College of Business is flourishing.
Thank you. And thank you for your service for the College of Business. We really appreciate it. Now, my final question from three of you. And we can start with Isa.
Okay.
Do you have any, I know you have a very good advice. If you haven't watched that, go back to the previous episode.
Go watch all the episodes.
Thank you. But if you have any advice based off your experience, maybe with this app development or your general experience at UNE?
I would say in whatever you're doing, just try. Like, you never want to be that guy who's kind of slacking off or is giving something like half an effort. Like, I really think that it is beneficial to try your best. Because I think I mentioned the other one, the only reason that I was ever given the opportunity to be here or really do anything with the center was because I sat in the front row of your class and I just tried. I raised my hand, give my thoughts. So that's kind of a small example of how that might pay off. But whether it's something like this application or something like that, I think it's always good to just give your best effort. Because if you don't, well, realistically, you're not going to get anything out of it. Mm-hmm. So if you will at least be willing to put your best foot forward, well, you never know what could happen. I feel like it's usually only ever good things. Even if something doesn't go well, you know what they say. Well, you're going to learn. Mm-hmm. And the next time you try something, you're going to come back stronger. So I think it's just kind of, test yourself and kind of push the boundaries. Just give it an effort, just in everything you do, everyday life.
If I were to give one advice, I think it really applies to my life currently and most people in college, is sort of like say yes and figure it out later. Because currently I have a lot of things going on. Like I have to work with the women's team, playing classes, was asked to do this. And I was like, I don't know. Like it might be too much. But like, am I really going to look back in a few years and be like, oh, like, wow, look at what this cool thing, like I missed out on that because I thought it was too much in the moment. Like at the end of the day, you don't get so many great opportunities, so sort of like say yes and figure it out is my advice. Because if I didn't do this or was like maybe I'm too busy to work with Underdog, I would have missed a great experience that many people don't have the opportunity to have. And a lot of people also think, well, maybe I have too much, and then they don't offer, and then they don't. That opportunity is just sitting there and no one's taking advantage of it. So my thing would just be take up the opportunities you're given, say yes, and sort of figure it out later.
Very similar, really focusing on both high school and college students is really just get out there and network, get to know people. The reason that a lot of people are viewing college education as dropping is because that they only view it as academics, but it's not just academics. You need to get out there, you need to get involved, and you need to make sure that you know people and you know the experiences that you had beyond your courses when you walk that stage.
Thank you so much. That was a great episode. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please subscribe us.
Yes.
Bye.
Subscribe and watch these episodes.
Watch this episode.